If you can believe it, it is Friday once again. Hi everyone, I'm Zach and I like movies, and I'm continuing my series of reviewing the works of David Lynch, a legendary director who passed away earlier this year. And I was initially going to maybe talk about Twin Peaks, at least the pilot movie, but I felt a little unfinished with some of my thoughts on it, so I'm just gonna do Twin Peaks in my spare time, and eventually I'll get around to finishing that. Then I'll finally be able to watch Firewalk with Me and then The Return. But for now, I'll do that out of order at my own time, my own pace. But for now, and today, I'm reviewing his film from 1990 called Wild at Heart. This is a love story starring Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern, and man, boy, does this movie really live up to its title. This is a very wild, unpredictable, really odd movie that is also maybe the most romantic thing David Lynch has ever made. I mean that, and it's and again, and you just sort of getting into parts about what this movie does. I almost can't believe it exists as it does, and how, or the fact that this movie actually won the Palme d'Or at Cannes Film Festival in 1990, which is insane to me, but complimentary. It's such a wild movie. So what it's about, it stars Nick Cage as Sailor, that's his name, Sailor, and Laura Dern as Lula, and they are in love, and theirs is a love of fiery passion and reckless abandon. And Sailor's a bad boy with an Elvis Twain and a sick ass snakeskin jacket, and he kills a man in self-defense who was actually hired by Lula's mom, who does not want Lula to be around Sailor, because it's a dangerous man. Well, he kind of proved that. But eventually he gets out of jail, and Lula picks him up, and then they're just kind of off. They go out, and he breaks parole to go on a road trip with her across the state lines, and just kind of finding a place for the two of them to settle down, because this weird hellish world does not want them to be together, but damn it, they have to, because they are so mad and made for each other in all their baggage, all their pain, all the pain they've experienced, and just how they just click with each other. They are as weird and as passionate and as wild. I'll be saying wild a lot, because that is kind of the operative word here. This is a wild romance between the two, and the movie kind of really matches their energy in a lot of places. Sometimes it something that really I'm really gonna need to see this not just a second time, but also see this in a crowd, in a theater, because something that really threw me off when watching this movie was how funny it was. This was a genuine crowd-pleasing. This is a really crowd-pleasing movie. It's really fun and weird until it isn't. Just Nick Cage's performance alone, he's just doing Elvis, and it's a really good Elvis too. and he's always punching things and doing karate poses and kicking, and he had the movie. Sometimes he'll have this and Laura Dern, who is, oh my God, she is looking the hottest she has ever looked, and Laura Dern is a beautiful woman, and so oh my God, she's gorgeous here, and she's really just matching a lot of his energy most of the time. They go out dancing, and there's a first off, they go out dancing at this wild this wild punk show, and the camera pushes in on Lula's feet as she's excitedly stamping on the bed, and it cuts to her feet stamping excitedly on the dance floor. It's a great cut. And then this punk guy, he starts dancing up and getting close with her, and Sailor, he goes like this and quiets the band and silences the audience, and then like he confronts the guy, and the guy he not only like gets tries to get fresh with Lula, but he also like insults his snakeskin jacket, which to him, that jacket is a symbol of his individuality and his belief in personal freedom. and he like hits the guy, he makes him apologize, and then like the band leader like tosses in the mic, and he sings an Elvis song right there. he sings like one of his like love ballads, "Love Me," and like the girls there around him are screaming, and like the band is doing his backup vocals. It's wonderful, and like there's so much like funny moments like that, but that or like just the way that it'll like but like that's still like kind of cut to these, it gets like sort of interrupted in these like really sharp cuts that sort of cut away to something like very very sinister, like when Lula's mom Marietta, played by Diane Ladd, who's great here, she hires a hitman who like has this really very low, low and very serious way of speaking. He calls I think like the crime boss that he works for or something like that, and he like tells him to like pass a silver dollar or something, and like it'll have this like really serious tone to it, and then it'll like cut back to like Lula and Sailor in the car, and they're just like jamming to like an old timey song on the radio, and like Nick Cage just like he's like saluting like very aggressively just to the beat, and then like okay, but like and like it's weird like that, and it'll be very fun. It'll have like it'll have this like the scene of like Diane Ladd hiring a private eye, who she's very sweet on, played by Harry Dean Stanton. And Harry's he's Harry Dean Stanton. If you know him, he's kind of doing what he usually does, just being like this nice sort of this nice like sort of salt of the earth guy. And he like there's a scene between them when he like says "I love you" to Diane Ladd in the most like sincere, just honest way, and it's so sweet. And like it's so the movie is like it's very sincere, even like really not just despite of, but because of all of these like all the chaos that's going on in these scenes. And like there's so many, there's so many moments given between Lula and Sailor, not just in like the times that they like when they're having sex, and like the passion of their love is amplified in some great music cues, like this one cue by the song "Slaughterhouse" by the thrash metal band Powermad. Man, it's just this like hard guitars and drums like dun, 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 as like they're having just a crazy sweaty sex in a motel, and it's and like you feel their passion, you feel their lust for each other, but like much later they play that same song in this great scene where like they're driving down the road, and she's like trying to like find something, she's like trying to find some good music to listen to, but like each radio channel she lands on, it's like giving like the most horrifying, just graphic, like true crime news. It's like and in breaking news, the child was found burned alive, blah 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 blah, and she's like, she freaks out, and then Sailor finds some music, and it's the Slaughterhouse song, and they're like dancing on the side of the road, and the camera is craning up, and you feel their passion, you feel their energy, you feel their connection, and it's so that's just one of those like perfect moments, that like one of those perfect cinema moments. And like it's happening at like magic hour. It's beautiful. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's fun, and it's passionate, and it's sincere here, and until it's not. Like, yeah, and it's sort of, and it again, these moments really surprised me. But like this movie has some of the most like unsettling scenes that I think David Lynch has ever shot. Like Diane Ladd has this sort of a sort of like manic breakdown, where she's like smearing her lipstick on her hands and face, and then it would cut to her, and she has like, it looks like she's bleeding all over her face, and it's like, whoa, holy crap. And oh my god, later, like, one of the most upsetting things I've ever seen out of a David Lynch movie is this, like, they're driving in the dead of night and they come across this really bad car wreck, and the car's been flipped, clothes are spilled out onto the road, and two people in it, they're clearly already dead. And then out of the darkness, like, this young girl just like shambles out, and like she's like bleeding from her head, and she's just kind of like rambling on and on, like literally picking at the open wound in her head, and it's just like I gotta find my purse, mom's gonna kill me, and she's played by Sherilyn Fenn, who plays Audrey in Twin Peaks, and it's just, and the two watch her die, and it's just, oh my god, I was not okay, I'm not having fun anymore. This is getting really sad. And then a little later after that, you meet Willem Dafoe as Bobby Peru. This guy is maybe the creepiest creep that Willem Dafoe has ever played in his career. He really takes the cake. He's like wearing all black. He smokes. He's got slick back hair, this John Waters pencil mustache, and just this smile that's like all gum, all like smoked out gums and little teeth left. It's like, and like he's very unsettling around. He's unsettling to be around with like Sailor, and he like he threatens Lula in her motel room. Oh my god, he's like I say, he's a serious creeper. But as with a lot of David Lynch movies, with all that like horror and that tension and the darkness that, you know, surrounds the two in this, like, in just the hell and chaos of this world, it's ultimately their love that does shine and save them, you know, and it does save the movie too. Like it is that, like, very reminiscent of with Blue Velvet, though to maybe not quite as dark a degree, but it's like the light and love of each other, and the love they have for each other, that really is what makes this world that they live in, this manic world, bearable for them. And that sort of, and I also love a lot of the the imagery here. Like there's a lot of recurring fire imagery. Like the opening credits has this the credits over this like blazing inferno. There's flashes of the burning car that's sort of like representative of like the danger nipping at their heels. You know, there's constant extreme close-ups of lit matches and burning cigarettes. You know, David's a smoker. He was a smoker since he was like 8 years old, and it feels, you know, and feels both representative of their love for each other, you know, and like the passion of their love, you know, but it also feels it to me feels representative of the self-destructiveness of their love. You know, you get too close to fire, now you're gonna burn. That's what Marietta tells Sailor, you know, early on. And what also I really love was the overwhelming references to the Wizard of Oz in this movie. Like the Wizard of Oz, like if you know where to see them, you can spot them basically throughout all of David's work. But here there's like really just like an overwhelming amount of them. Like Lula mentions hearing the Wicked Witch's laugh in a conversation with Sailor, and she even has a vision of seeing like her mother as the Wicked Witch of the West. There's when she's like intimidated by and just completely terrified by Bobby Peru, she like clicks her red heels, and because she wants to go back home, but she can't go back home. There's no there's no Kansas here. And like, they constantly references of like, this isn't like this ghost town, ain't no Emerald City. There's a weird guy who like mentions Toto, and around the end, Sailor is just visited by Glinda the Good Witch. Literally, it's just Glinda, and who tells him to not turn away from Lula's love. Lula loves you, even if you are wild at heart. And it's sort of, and like I said, it's that love for each other that makes the world bearable, makes the world shine, and makes the light shine brighter amidst all the darkness. And that's kind of the movie. That's basically the movie itself. It's loving each other, loving these two absolutely wild kids, being in love, following and trying to make a spot for themselves in the world that does not want them to be around. And I really dug this. It was it's so wild, and even though it did get dark, it did get violent, but it's also really fun. It's really funny. Like if you can see this in a crowd, it really needs to be seen in a crowd, I think. And but it's also a little hard to find. Like, there is a Blu-ray from Shout Factory, which is pretty good, but it's not streaming anywhere, which is kind of frustrating. But like, that was kind of the case for a lot of David Lynch movies, at least not the big ones, like Eraserhead and Mulholland Drive and stuff like that. But yeah, this was great. I love this. I can't wait to see it again. And it is, can't believe. Not only can I not believe that, a David Lynch movie starring Nick Cage was not only this funny, but also like had the kind of acclaim of like a Palme d'Or win. It's crazy, but also a sign of good taste. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this, and can't recommend it enough. And that'll be it for Wild at Heart, 1990. Wonderful movie. And I think that'll be it for now. Next week, I think that's Lost Highway, since it's going to be a minute until I finish all of Twin Peaks, especially given how I watch TV, really slow. But for now, that'll be it. I'm Zach. I like movies. I have a lot more movies to watch. I actually did some reorganizing too, and because I got a couple more. Story of my life. And I hope you watch movies too, because movies are life, and life is good. And I'll see you next time, and take care of yourselves.